Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Nandot Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Sevaya. Today we are very happy to have the association of His Grace Suvinaya Nityananda Prabhuji. He'll be sharing Bhagavata from 4th canto, 28th chapter, verse number 10. The chapter is titled Puranjana Becomes Women in Next Life. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Nandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Nandot Pranam.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can start. Can you please also turn on the video for participants' benefit?
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we will start. Slowly, devotees will join.
Okay. Welcome all to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving a wonderful opportunity for me to purify myself by reciting the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers and then get started with the Shloka 10 of chapter 28 of Canto 4. Narayanam namaskrutyam naranchaina narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jaya mudiraye nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistuki mukam karoti vachalam pangor langayate kiram yatkrpatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We'll offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Ishtapadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Krupapratayane Gaurakatatamataaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Ishtapadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravari Pacharane Nirvishesha Shundavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You're able to see my screen, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. So we will study Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 28, Text 10 today. We'll recite the shloka. Gandharva Yavana Kritam Kala Kanyopamarditam Hatum Prachkarme Krame Raja Tam Purim Anikamataha. Read once again. Gandharva Yavana Krantam Kala Kanyopamarditam Hatum Prachakrime Raja Tam Purim Anikamataha. Word by word translation. Gandharva, by the Gandharva soldiers, Yavana, and by Yavana soldiers, Akrantam, overcome, Kalakanya, by Kalakanya, daughter of time, Upamarditam, by being smashed, Hatum, to give up, Prachakrame, proceeded, Raja, King Puranjana, Tam, that, Purim, the city, Anikamataha, unwilling. Translation. The city of King Puranjana was overcome by Gandharva and Yavana soldiers. And although the king had no desire to leave the city, he was circumstantially forced to do so, for it was smashed by Kalakanya. Again, we'll read the shloka. Gandharva Yavana Krantam Kalyakanyopamarditam Atum Prachakrame Raja Tampurim Ani Gamataha. So in the previous chapters, we have learned how Kalakanya was searching for a husband and she got a husband finally, Yavana. And we also understood who are Gandharvas in this context, in the context or allegory of Puranjana, and how now Puranjana's city is being invaded and Puranjana is unwilling to give up the city, but he is circumstantially forced. So we'll in detail study Prabhupada purport and start understanding what Prabhupada is trying to tell here. So for people, very few people who are attending first time or who have missed several classes previously, we'll also give what this allegory means, each one of these characters who come in allegory in this shloka, and try to relate to what Narada is trying to tell here. So Gandharva Yavana Krantam. Gandharva in this allegory is time in terms of days and hours. Gandharva is 360 days. Gandharvis are 360 nights. So Chandavega is time. Okay. So that is the previous chapters. What? So Gandharva, the Gandharva soldiers means time. So in each day, there is 24 hours, and in each hour, there is 60 minutes, and each minute, there is 60 seconds. So these are the soldiers. So Puranjana here refers to the Jiva. And of course, Puranjani means the wife of the Jiva. Puranjana means the Jiva. We all have the Anuatmas, the soul. Puranjana is referring to. And the city, the Puranjana is residing, refers to the body. So Gandharvas and Yavana Krantam, Gandharva Yavana Krantam. The soldiers of Gandharva, the time, okay, the time, the days pass by for a Jiva. And that is here compared to attack. Krantam means attack. Means they are trying to overcome the city of Puranjana. Yavana is what we studied, the allegory. Here, Yavana refers to the bhaya or the fear. What is the ultimate fear is? The ultimate fear is death. So mrityu. So Yavana here refers to mrityu or the ultimate fear. Yavana Kritam. The soldiers of Yavana are, who are the soldiers of Yavana? Are the threefold miseries. Adi Atmika, Adi Bautika, Adi Daivika. So these inflict a strong suffering on the Jiva. So the soldiers are coming now to city of Puranjana and attacking. Which soldiers? Gandharva soldiers as well as Yavana soldiers. Yavana soldiers are coming in form of Adi Atmika, Adi Daivika, Adi Bautika, the diseases, various diseases, and threefold miseries. And Gandharva is by the time, the days pass by. Even though you're not willing to pass that day, for example, yesterday was Sunday, and many of us don't want Sunday to be passed, but it get passed. And today is Monday, this also get passed. So like that, years pass together. We have no control over it. So the city of Puranjana compared to the body is continuously being attacked by these forces. Kala Kanyopamarditam. So who is that Kala Kanya? In this allegory, Kala Kanya is old age or Jara. So Kala Kanyopamarditam. So once Kala Kanya attacks the Jiva or the city of the Jiva, that is the body, it gets weakened. It gets decayed. It gets degraded. It gets deformed. So it is not able to do the same activities as it was earlier able to do. So Kalakanyopa Marditam. That means when Kalakanya attacks, that is when the body gets old, then the body is getting ready to, Kalakanya is ready to destroy the body. So body will not respond to the stimulus. Not that much what it was responding to. So Hatum Prachakrimi Rajaha, that means it is directly, not indirectly also, it is directly telling these instances or these attacks are directly telling we can easily overcome you. So the Gandharva soldiers, Yavana soldiers, and Kalakanya is directly telling Puranjana, hey, we can easily overcome you. There is nothing you can do about us. We will attack your city and destroy it for sure. So who is guarding the city? We know the 5-hooded serpent is guarding the city. This 5-hooded serpent represents the 5 pranavayus, the 5 life airs, apana, udana, samana, prana. So like that, vyana. So 5 important life airs are guarding this city. But as the Kalakanya starts to attack, the old age starts to come, these pranas who have been defending this body all the while also have got weakened, will get weakened. And you see in subsequent shlokas, they abandon also. But they get weakened here. So it is telling we can overcome this particular defense of the 5-hooded serpent. And indirectly telling Puranjana, hey, your city will be destroyed now. We will overcome you. Tam purim anikamataha. In spite of all this, that's a bewilderment. The Puranjana doesn't want to leave the city. He's very much attached to the city. Anikamataha, unwilling. That means he's not willing to leave the city. So he's seeing in front of his own eyes how this city is being destroyed, how this city is being overcome. So this is the context of the shloka, verbatim. We will see Prabhupada purport and go one by one. So verbatim is the body of Puranjana is getting old. Kalakanya, who is referred to the Vridhyapya, the Jara aspect, has attacked Puranjana's body. So Puranjana's body has become old. Time has passed immensely. That is Gandharva soldiers attacking. Now Yavana Kritam. That means Yavanas, the Bhaya, the Mrityus soldiers also attack. So he is deceased condition now, mentally deceased, physically deceased, to a certain extent, spiritually also deceased. Okay. But he's unwilling to leave the city. That is, he is unwilling to give up the old body, which cannot do anything now. That is a verbatim understanding of the sloka. Now we'll go to Prabhupada's purport and decipher one by one what Prabhupada is trying to explain. So we'll read the first paragraph. Hopefully you can see my screen. The living entity separated from the association of Supreme Personality Godhead tries to enjoy this material world. He's given a chance to enjoy this particular body, beginning from the body of Brahma down to that of a microbe. From Vedic history of creation, we can understand that first living creature was Lord Brahma, who created the 7 great sages and other Prajapatis to increase the universal population. Thus, every living entity, according to karma, his past desires and activities, get particular type of body from that Brahma to that of microbe or germ in a stool. Due to long association of particular type of material body, and also due to grace of Kala Kanya and her Maya, one becomes overly attached to material body. Although it is abode of pain. Even if one tries to separate from a worm from a stool, the worm will be unwilling to leave. It will return to stool. Similarly, a hog lives in a very filthy state, eating stool. But if one tries to separate it from its condition, give it a nice place, the hog will be unwilling. In this way, if we study each and every living entity, we will find that he will defy offers of more comfortable position. Although King Puranjana was attacked from all sides, he was unwilling to leave the city. In other words, the living entity, whatever his condition, does not want to give up the body. But he will be forced to give it up, because after all, this material body cannot exist forever. Very beautiful purport Srila Prabhupada is telling. There are 5 aspects he has covered in this first paragraph. We'll look at all the 5 aspects one by one. First is, the living entity is separated from association of Supreme Personality Godhead and tries to enjoy this material. The moment the living entity is rebelled against Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead in Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha planets, and he or she wants to enjoy, the soul wants to enjoy individually, and then the soul is put into this material world. Because it cannot, Krishna is the only enjoyer in spiritual world. Actually, he's the only enjoyer in the entire world, both spiritual and material. But once a jiva tries to enjoy by itself, or desires to enjoy by itself, or rebels against the Lord, the jiva is put into the material world. And what does the jiva do? Jiva tries to enjoy. So tries to exploit this material world and tries to enjoy itself. How to enjoy? There is a body given, both by a subtle body and a gross body is given to the jiva so that it can enjoy the material world. Jiva enjoys material world through a body. It's a medium through which it can enjoy. So there are various types of bodies. So it can differ from, hey, how long this body can live, which all enjoyments the body can perceive. So Prabhupada is explaining the evolution or the hierarchy of the bodies, starting from the topmost Brahma to the bottommost, a germ in a stool. These are various types of bodies we get. 8,40,000, 8.4 million bodies is there. So these are the bodies we get. The jiva undergoes so that it can enjoy various type of enjoyments. So for example, the jiva is willing to desiring to swim very nicely. So the body of a fish is ready. Jiva is willing to enjoy the filthy place. A body of a hog or a pig is ready. So the jiva which desires to enjoy will get body. So Prabhupada explaining, a body is got by 3 things. What is that? One is the desire. One is the past activities of the karma, the reactions to it. And other is the activities that the jiva is doing in the present life. So 3 things decide which body does a jiva get? So a body is got by past karmas, the desires the jiva has, and the activities that desire that the body is, when the living entity is performing. You can see here, particular, get a particular. But what is this do to jiva? That is what we should understand. A particular body is got. Okay, there is enjoyment. There is no doubt about it. But there is side effects also. There is a side effect to it. But in this way, if one gets body of Brahma, it leads to very large extent, very long association with that body. Kalpas together, 100 years. Brahma lives for 100 years. 100 years of Brahma. That is for an ant or for jiva in the earth, it will be lakhs or millions of years, billions of years, in fact. So due to this long association with this material body or material energy, the jiva gets attached to it. A wonderful example Prabhupada is giving. He's not even talking of Brahma. He's talking of a germ in a stool. How long the germ in a stool survive? Maybe 1 day, 2 days, maybe maximum one, because stool itself will decay. So maximum 1 week. So even that short duration of time, the jiva inside the body of a germ in a stool is attached to the stool. You cannot separate the jiva in that the germ is unhappy. The jiva inside the germ is, hey, I've got separated. So if one tries to separate it out, even from a germ, from a stool, it is unhappy. It wants to go back to the stool. Similarly, if one has seen pigs, they never come out from dirty water or sewage. They always want to stay in the dirty water. No matter how good farm you make and give them, they still create that filthy place themselves and try to enjoy from that. So this is the impact. This is the side effect of associating. Very long, very long association. What the jiva forgets the nature of its original nature, that it is spiritual, marginal energy of the Lord. That is the Shakti of the Lord. But wants to exploit and enjoy the material place. And is this good? The material body? No, it is full of suffering. We saw how Kalakanya comes, how the Yavana soldier comes, how the Gandharva soldier comes, and how the 5-hooded serpent, the pranas, will get slowly worn out, weakened. But still, jiva is attached to the body. That is the illusion. That is the spell cast by Kalakanya in terms of Maya. So the 5 aspects what Prabhupada is telling is, hey, why living entity takes a material body? Because it is separated out of Supreme Personality Godhead. Association is gone of Krishna. It falls into the material world. And what the activity it performs, it starts to exploit and enjoy the material nature. So there is, once it starts to exploit and enjoy, there is a reaction to it. There's a karma to it. And that is how it gets the next bodies. And the body is continuously attacked by soldiers of Yavanas and Gandharvas and Kalakanya. So it degrades. So jiva is made to leave the body and accept another body. But in this process, why it is unwillingly accepting, unwillingly trying to leave? Because due to long association, it gets attached to the body it has got, which has been a source of enjoyment for it. So it gets attached to it. It's unwilling to leave. These are the 5 points that Prabhupada is trying to cover in this book. We move to the other paragraph of the purport here. The living entity wishes to enjoy the material world in different ways, and thereby nature laws is allowed to transmigrate from one body to another. Exactly as a person transmigrates from body of an infant to a child and to a boy to youth to man. This process is constantly going on. At last stage, when gross body becomes old and invalid, the living entity is reluctant to give it up, despite the fact it is no longer usable. Although material existence and the material body are not comfortable, why does the living entity want to leave? As soon as one gets material body, he works very hard to maintain it. He may engage in different fields of activity, but whatever the case, everyone has to work very hard to maintain the material body. Unfortunately, society has no information of transmigration because the living entity does not hope to enter the spiritual kingdom of eternal life, bliss, and knowledge. He wants to stick to his present body, even though it may be useless. Consequently, the greatest welfare activity in material world is furthering of Krishna conscious movement. Prabhupada is bringing the importance of giving Krishna consciousness thing to the people here. He's telling 3 reasons why the greatest welfare activity. The welfare activity is satisfying the people, the jivas. It's not by building good hospitals. It is not by building dharmashalas that offer free food. It's not by building good houses. So Prabhupada is clearly telling the greatest welfare activity is to give them Krishna consciousness. Why? Prabhupada is giving 3 reasons here. First reason is, hey, in the first paragraph he told, each and every living entity in this material world get bodies according to desires, karma, and current activities. And this body is not permanent. That is what we should understand. This body is not permanent. We continuously get other bodies. We transmigrate from one body to another. Every moment we are changing bodies. As Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirasta tatra ma muhyati. That means our soul is continuously transmigrating, changing bodies. It's happening so fast we don't realize at all. If we take a photograph when we were young, we can see what body we were in. We were very, very tiny. We had tiny legs, tiny arms, tiny brain. And now if we see our current photograph, our body has grown. Similarly, when we get old, the body may be shrinking. So you see, the body is transmigrating continuously. Similarly, once after death we give up the body, we transmigrate to another body. So this knowledge is not there with the current people. So this is the Vedic knowledge, this is the eternal truth has been lost. Instead, we are concentrating on the material aspects of things to satisfy our senses, whether subtle senses or gross senses. Hey, we are getting diseased. Okay, we will build a very good hospitals. But nature keeps throwing different kind of diseases. Okay, you found a cure for malaria. I will throw out another disease. Now we got last 2 years, we got another new disease like corona. So once we find a cure for one disease, we will get another disease. That is nature. So disease cannot be stopped in this material world. So body has to decay, has to deform, has to destroy. And the soul will have to take another body. And definitely will take another body. So that is what Prabhupada is telling. So this is the truth. The transmigration of a body is a truth. And that is what people are not getting, not understand. They believe either 2 things they believe. Hey, we have only one body, enjoy as far as possible. Because once the body is gone, we're all destroyed. There's no rebirth. There's no transmigration. Nobody believes in that theory. So that is one theory. Or there is a hope, hey, we can, by innovation, by science, by scientific methodologies, we will be able to we will be able to defeat the death. Death can be postponed. We'll become Chiranjeevis. That is what scientists all over the world are trying, which cannot happen here. That is what Prabhupada is telling. It cannot. You cannot become. You have to give up. The body has to be given up because it becomes useless. Kalakanya is attacking. Will marditi. That means old age will come and you will have to give up this body. But between the birth and the old age, it is not easy. This body has to be maintained. One is creation of the body, one is destruction of the body, one is maintenance of the body. While a jiva is inside the body, it has to maintain whichever body, whether the body of a virus, whether the body of animal, whether the body of human being. You will have to respond to it. You will have to work very hard to maintain it. Otherwise, it will be immediately destroyed if you don't maintain. So a jiva has taken the body is undergoing many transformations, and the jiva is attached to the body, and its maintenance also is a problem, but the jiva is working very hard to maintain it, and is still getting attached to this body, even though once it owns out, once it's not fulfilling the purpose, it tries to retain this body. How bewildering it is. And jiva never looks up at all. In the last purport, Prabhupada will tell, hey, jiva is never looking after his dear friend who is sitting beside him. The Atma is never looking at the super soul. The soul is not looking at super soul, is sitting beside him. But continues to do welfare activities like providing free food, providing free clothes, providing free shelter, providing free treatment. And this is what modern society is calling welfare. Prabhupada is challenging that and telling that is not real welfare, because that will not solve the problems of life, birth, death, old age, and disease. The soldiers of Yavana, soldiers of Gandharvas will try to continuously attack, and they will not get weakened at all. And Kalakanya comes and takes away everything. So this knowledge of transmigration has to be given to all. Then one understands, okay, this, why it has to be given. Prabhupada, why he says the real welfare is education, a progression in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because by Krishna consciousness, you will know I am not the body, but I am the soul. Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am the eternal soul. I take on different bodies. And this is eternal. If I don't wake up and realize this Jivana Chakra, birth, death, old age disease, birth, death, old age disease will be happening to me. I'll be continuously suffering. So Krishna consciousness teaches these things. Hey, one, you're not the body or the soul. If you don't wake up, you will be stuck in this suffering for eternally. And there is a relationship between the eternal person and yourself. You need to realize that relationship and start progressing. That's the real welfare, not building hospitals, not giving free food, not being the shelter, because that are all bound to destroy in the onslaught of Gandharvas, Yavanas, and Kalakanya. So Prabhupada is giving the message here in the third purport. This movement is giving human society information about the kingdom of God. There is God, there is Krishna, and everyone can return to God, and they live eternally in bliss and knowledge. A Krishna conscious person is not afraid of giving up the body because his position is always eternal. A Krishna conscious person engages in transcendental loving service of Lord eternally. Therefore, as long as he lives within the body, he is happy to engage in the loving service of Lord. And when he gives up the body, he is also permanently situated in the service of the Lord. The saintly devotees are always free and liberated, whereas the karmis who have no knowledge of spiritual life or transcendental loving service of Lord are very much afraid of giving up the rotten material body. The conclusion of Prabhupada is straightforward here. So Prabhupada is telling here why karmis are afraid to give up the body. Why Puranjara is holding on to that city, means that body, even though it is being attacked and he's not able to defend it. Why is holding it? Because uncertainty of what will happen next. As far as the knowledge is concerned of the jiva, he's been residing in his body. Doesn't know outside world at all. That is where Prabhupada in the second paragraph tells, hey, one should know, each and every soul should know that the soul transmigrates from one body to another. Then this fear will not be there. Okay, what is mrityu? Mrityu means we do not fear, we'll take on another body. That's all. Then with the inquisitiveness of the jiva, the intelligence comes into picture. Okay, what type of body I should receive? Hey, I should not go down. I should not take a body of worm in a stool. I should not take a body of hog. I should not take a body of animal. I should not take a body of ant. I should elevate myself. So what I should do to take up another body? Definitely another body is coming. But what body should I take up in the next Janma? Then the jiva will start to inquire. And that is where Krishna consciousness is coming and preaching, hey, there is a person called Krishna. He's eternal. He's eternal. That means he's forever. He's not under the influence of Gandharvas, Yavanas, Kalakanya. No. And if you take shelter of him, and if you desire to serve him, then that is also eternal. Then all this suffering will not be there. So once all that suffering is not there, that means you will be with that person, not that you will get all the bliss by serving that person. You will get Mahadananda. Bliss is Mahadananda. You'll get Mahadananda, and that is ever increasing. Every time you serve that person, the index of happiness will increase. So you should try to get that body. That is a spiritual body. How to get? By surrendering to him, taking shelter of his lotus feet. How to do that? There is a methodology. Association with the devotees, reading the books, chanting, and eating the deity prasad. That is how you need current material body. You practice that so that next body is coming to you as a spiritual body that is eternal, that will not change, that will not degrade, that will not deform. And you will enjoy the bliss, you will not suffer anything. So that is where a Krishna conscious person or a sadhu or a santa is not afraid to give the body, because he for sure knows that whether in this body, whether the body he gets after that, doesn't matter. The only thing what is enjoyment, not of self, but enjoyment through service of the Lord. So service of the Lord will be immaterial. That means whichever body the sadhu, sant or devotee gets, he will be engaged in that body serving lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the education that ISKCON is doing worldwide. So that is the education Prabhupada is asking us to provide. First understand for us self and then preach to others. This transmigration is there. So if a person understands, hey, transmigration is there, then he'll not be afraid to leave the body. But once a karmi doesn't understand the transmigration is there, he will try to hold on to the body. So that is where we have this modern equipments called ventilators. All this equipment, they'll try to hold on to the body. There's a chance, okay, put on ventilator. The body is ready to, the jiva, the Kalakanya, the Yavanas, the Gandharvas, soldiers of them all attacked. The prana is also almost going. It's weakened so much. But still, artificially we try to renew that body, which is not possible at all. It will not be possible at all in the future also. That is what Prabhupada is telling here via this allegory explanation by Narada. Hey, all the jivas in the world, all the humans in the world, take this, understand the concept of transmigration. Do not be afraid to give up the body. I mean, this is material body. You have to give up one day or the another. But instead, use this material body, especially this human body, especially in this age of Kali, where 10,000 years in golden age we are in, we will not get the opportunity another time. Because of mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this 10,000 glorious years in Kali Yuga have come. In Kali Yuga, there is no liberation at all. But this mercy from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu have come. Take this opportunity and get into path of Krishna consciousness. And also assist others also to get into path of Krishna consciousness, so that they understand the transcendental knowledge. Hey, this body is not permanent, it is temporary. We should get into this understanding and should not hold on to the body. The real welfare is in us understanding this body is temporary and we are permanent. We have to go into a permanent body, a spiritual or eternal body, and enjoy not what we think as enjoyment, but enjoy in service of Lord Krishna. Then we'll get the Madhananda, bliss. So that is the purport explaining. To summarize the purport and the sloka. So King Puranjana is attacked. The city is being attacked by Kalakanya and the Yavanas and Gandharvas. It's almost at the verge of defeat, but still he's unwilling to give up his city. So the purport is telling this material body is what the city of Puranjana is. The material body is being guarded by 5-hooded serpent, that is the pranas, the 5 pranas. But they have been fighting this Gandharvas, the soldiers of Yavanas, Gandharvas, ultimately Kalakanya, who is Pradhyapya herself, or Durbhagya, Pradhyapya and Durbhagya, both come, attack. So this material body gets very much weakened. All the elements, the senses stop working, the pranas get weakened. And then, even though unwilling, the Puranjana is, the Jiva is unwilling, he has to leave the body. So ISKCON as a movement is trying to educate people. Hey, this body is impermanent, temporary. So we should not get attached to it. We should not be fearful of it, but actually get educated. It is personal, Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna. Our eternal service is to serve him. So once we start serving him, that means we get a spiritual body which is permanent. And by serving him, we get Madhananda. That is what we should take up. Otherwise, if we don't take up, like karmis, we will be like this. Fearful of leaving the body, forcefully the body will be taken out, and we will get the body according to desire, karma, and activities, which may be a animal birth or a microbe birth or a plant birth, or if good karmas are there, even a elevated demigod birth. But ultimately it will be temporary body that is going to. That is what the summary of this shloka is. With this, I complete my class here. Willing to receive any questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for wonderfully explaining how the living entity is fearful of quitting the body, although it has no choice, and the only remedy for it is to a complete understanding of the eternality of the soul and eternal nature of the Lord, and understanding how one receives ultimate bliss from serving the Lord. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Devotees can unmute themselves to share reflections, or if they have any questions, please ask, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a nice class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one doubt. Like Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, on one hand, he says that those who are in my dham are spiritual planet, like Vaikuntha or upper planets, they will actually never fall down. On the other hand, we also hear in the same Bhagavad Gita that we were actually part and parcel of the Lord in the spiritual world, but because of envy, we have fallen down. Correct. But in Vaikuntha, there is no place for envy. How we being in Vaikuntha, got that material quality and fallen down, Prabhuji?
Very good question, Prabhuji. So first of all, you should understand there is a concept of free will. Free will. That means all the jivas have that free will. So otherwise we would become robots. So free will, the Krishna has given that free will to all jivas. Okay. So that free will we should utilize in a positive manner or a negative manner we can utilize. So how this free will is being used depend on us. So once what will happen, right? We'll be serving Krishna and we will notice, hey, why only Krishna should enjoy like this? Why not I also enjoy? Why not I can't enjoy? Once that thought or our free will is inclined to that, the moment that thought comes, we are put into this material. Krishna never controls the thought, what thoughts we get. Krishna will never interfere there. So even though we are there in, for example, we are in a spiritual organization. We know the truth. Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead. Don't we have anger? Don't we have envy? Don't we have bad word? Something will be there for traces of it are there, right? Just for a comparison. So similarly in Vaikuntha also, once we are there with the Lord is not taking away the free will from us. So we choose ourselves, hey, in that path, hey, why not I also enjoy like this? What Krishna is doing. Krishna says, no, okay, I am the Lord here. You cannot enjoy. If you want to enjoy, you go to the material. And it comes with its own repercussions. So the moment Krishna programs us out of that free will, then we become robots. So Krishna is not taking up. So what, as far as my understanding is, there is one time we fall down, and after that we learned our lesson and we will not repeat that lesson. So hence it is told we will not fall down again. But I have to confirm that, Prabhu. But if again we think we should enjoy, I think so again we will fall down. So that is what, because free will is not curtailed. Because of that free will, we manifest that quality, and fall down. Hopefully I've answered, Prabhu. Otherwise I'll have to refer back and tell on this. Why that envy also comes there. This is what my understanding.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
There is one doubt. If we are not having envy only, we can go to Vaikuntha Loka. Is it not?
Envy against Krishna. Correct, yes, Prabhu.
Otherwise, how without envy only we can reach Vaikuntha Loka? After going there, envy, how it is free will, it is working. That I also got a doubt.
Yes, Prabhu. This free will concept is very difficult to understand, right? So it has not removed that characteristics. Okay, the characteristic will be there. All this envy is also one of the characteristics. So how you choose to use that envy is against Krishna or towards Krishna.
But without envy only we can reach Vaikuntha Loka. Is it not? That also there, you know. From here, correct. If you want to go to Vaikuntha Loka, you should not have the envy.
Correct. Yes, Prabhu. So once envy you have removed, removed in sense, it is there, but you are chosen not to use it. It is there, but you're chosen not to use it.
Okay.
Similarly, anger also. It is there. Anger exists. Anger is one of the rasas. It is there in your kitty or in repository. It is there, but you don't choose it to use it. Okay, in past times of Krishna also, envy is there between the gopis, right? But they use the envy to give Krishna more bliss.
Good reference.
So that is there. Envy is there. You choose to use it or not use it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good.
Prabhu, you mean to say like the Shadvargas are there inherently in us, but it is whether we use it or not, it matters.
Yes, the characters will be there. Krishna will not remove. So characters will be there. Whether we choose it and use it, that is a free will, no? Otherwise, if he has only provided the things what he needs, then what's the use of free will? We all become robots. That's all. We become machines. That is not what Krishna wants. Krishna wants that exchange.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that means we have lust, but that has to be converted into love for Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, correct. Any other questions? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu. Thanks for the wonderful class. Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita, somewhere we have read that the Lord only creates even the bad qualities, no Prabhu?
No, not yeah. All things are created by Lord only. That's what I was explaining. The quality is there. How you use the quality depends. That's what I was telling. The envy. Enviness is there within the gopis also displaying enviness, but they are using that enviness to increase the pleasure of the Lord.
Okay. So he has created, but we should use our free will to choose the right ones.
Correct, right ones, and use in vriddhi of ananda or pleasure to the Lord.
Yes. Thanks, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you. If no questions, let us wind up this class. Then.
Yes, Guruji, with Vaishnava pranams. Yes.
Okay. Pancha kalpataru vascha kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavembho namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavandu ki jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank